Speaking about darkies and lights, hey, let's talk about this Michael Jackson movie. So, hey, he started out dark and ended up light. So, hey, you know what I'm saying?
I got a light skin friend.
Bruh.
So,
Oh,
now,
man.
look,
Be right back.
#1 at the box office. Everybody and their mama went out to see it. Critically, it's been panned. Is what 27% at one point in time on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if it's still there at 27%.
I don't trust those numbers.
See,
I don't mess with Rotten Tomato.
Yeah, I think it's the whole thing.
But
sorry.
So,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Coach E, where does it stand? Is it Rotten Tomatoes bad or somewhere in between? All the hype train that came around the movie, did it live up to the hype or is it somewhere in the middle?
It's definitely kid and play.
What is that? Too much
one?
hype.
Good, hold on.
It's too hype. It is really, really good. I love the movie. I really did. And it was so like authentic that at one point in time, not one point in time, several times, you had to literally like, damn, is that him for real? Like you had to do that a couple times on some performance scenes and on some just speaking line scenes. You literally was like, whoa, this is crazy, because I had to second guess, is he dead? Or is this old footage? And there's a couple things in there that people may not know what he did with. Should I say that? I think it's a spoiler alert.
No.
Yeah, I think that's a spoiler alert.
Oh, okay.
But spoiler alert.
Say it, man.
Because I heard it before and I didn't believe it, but they mentioned that part in the movie when he did the I'm Bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one with the parking garage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I heard that story when I was younger about like those were real Bloods and Crips and stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, in that video.
Was it I'm Bad or was it Beat It?
Yeah, sorry, Beat It. It was
Beat It. I don't know. Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah, that ain't a spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah, it was real life Bloods and Crips. Like it was serious. And they showed how it all came together, which I was like, oh wow, that's really crazy that he pulled that off like that. And you know, Michael Jackson, true enough, he's everybody's favorite. He was the greatest entertainer and all that. But the hood dudes really messed with him, like at a very high level, and that blew my mind. He really wasn't.
Yeah. No, he really was. But go ahead.
He's from Gary, Indiana, absolutely. But we all know how he turned out. But it just showed too, like when we were younger, all you heard was the wacko jackos and how crazy he was. But he just wanted to be a kid, man. And he never got the chance to just be a kid. Because when he was 5 years old, he was asked to be the leader of this group. And he had to carry the group, and he had to work the hardest. He had to be the best. He couldn't have an off day. He couldn't do anything wrong, or it was such a big spotlight on him from his dad. And I thought it was weird that, like, they literally called him Joseph instead of like dad. They never said dad. They kept saying Joseph. I thought that was really weird. But anyway, he just wanted to be a kid, man. And they showed a lot of instances where he did so much stuff, whether it was donations, whether it was spending time just with other kids when he got older, because he just saw them and was like, man, I bet that's fun to just be a kid because I never had that opportunity. So that explained a lot of things that when we were little, the media would spin a couple things like, man, he's weird. Why is he doing this? He just wanted to be a kid.
It's interesting that you brought that up. So it's interesting. He wanted to be a kid. We would look at Michael Jackson and be like, ooh, we want to be like Mike. And it's so funny, like the whole dynamic is like, maybe not to you. I'm talking about early Mike B, not later Mike. I'm talking early Mike. Like
I never wanted to be like Mike.
But with you saying that, the later Mike makes sense when they break it down the way they did. It makes sense, and you kind of be like, damn, I like way feel bad for feeling like that about him when I was hearing all that stuff, and like it really makes you second guess things. And you know, it's a movie. It might not be 100% factual. It could be just, you know, movie stuff. But it was definitely points in there like, damn, I feel sorry for this dude. And when you was younger, you never said that. You just believed everything you heard.
I agree. I agree. All right. So yeah, no, I just found that interesting because when you're a kid, you looking at Mike like greatness, and you trying to chase that greatness that Mike's already achieved, and he like, man, it's not what it's cracked up to be, kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? He over here showing
kitchen table and eat cereal. I just want to play with some toys in the room. You know what I'm saying? And they put another part in there where he was in the stores with regular people because he just wanted to be in a toy store, buy toys, and go home and play with them because he either one, never had the time, or he just couldn't do it. Wasn't allowed to do it.
Dog, they said there was I think it was talking to Michael or Magic Johnson. They said Mike came to a Laker game, was sitting courtside. They had to stop the game and he had to leave because people was just acting crazy. They could not even play the basketball game.
Yes.
People was wilding because Michael Jackson was there. Like, can you imagine that type of fame? Like, being
it's another level, man.
Never ever wanted any kind of level of fame because look, I just want to be a David Foster type cat, like, because that level of fame, you can't do nothing, and they all become weirdos. And not only that, they all have to perform the same damn songs over and over and over because people don't want to hear all the other shit. They want to hear the hits, the same things. But
every song was a hit.
Mike was definitely hood. It's a story where he whooped Tupac ass, and his voice was capped because they said his voice was deep, like what up, dude? Yeah, so that's
Joe's son.
Yeah, that's Joe's son. Joe whooped his ass. You think he gonna be soft? Getting his ass whooped like that? Come on, man.
Look, I got so many places I could go with that, but I am not.
Come on down the rabbit hole, man.
Don't touch us, in the oven is hot. The oven is hot. Do not touch.
I want to say so much more, but I cannot.
Nah, yo. But as parents, you want your kid to. You hoping that your kid can. You want them to have a normal life, you know, and do great things. But isn't there a piece of you to want them to achieve that top tier when it comes to greatness? So how do you manage that?
No,
when you're raising a kid, you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying, to they're able to handle it if they indeed do reach that height.
Great question.
Yeah, go ahead, Rick, because I saw you for me.
I want them to achieve their greatness. I don't want them to achieve greatness. And if their greatness is greatness, then okay. If that makes sense. Like, I don't want but I just want them to be. Go ahead.
No, Rick, don't you? So I'm not a parent, so you schooling me, right?
Yes.
So I always assume that every parent sees that greatness though in their kid. That's not the case.
Nope.
And I think that's where you go wrong in trying to, like, Trey is never going to be LeBron James. Like, no matter what we do,
it's reality.
He cannot be LeBron James, but he could be Trey Perez, and whatever his greatness is of being Trey Perez, that's what I want for him. And there takes some lessons and some discipline and some, resilience and some things that I want him to learn from LeBron James, but he still has to be who he is. That's what I care about as a parent, and that he can take care of himself and be a upstanding pillar in society.
And very well spoken.
And to piggyback that, I totally agree. But the second part of your question is, you said, will they be able to handle it if they do reach that certain stage or status or fame? Yes, because I prepared them for that if and when they do get there, just with the way I raised them. Because I already know I kept it wholesome with them. I kept it real with them. And hey, let's just keep it real. Sometimes you got to humble your kids.
Yeah.
and it's easier to receive that from your parents than it is from a stranger, because from a stranger it could come off as hate or just somebody that doesn't even like what you're doing or don't like you or your situation, and jealousy. But if it's coming from me out of love, they'll be prepared for that if and when that happens. So yes, I agree. Just like you said, Rick, you want your kid to achieve their own greatness. But if they ever do get to that, yes, they will be prepared, because I know I did such a good job as a dad and as a parent that I prepared them for that moment.
Yeah.
Tina Knowles smacked Beyonce right in the mouth, even though she just heard herself on the radio. She said something, flip it. Tina Knowles said, "Oh no, ma'am. I don't care what you on the radio. Go do what I told you to do." Tina Knowles ain't care.
That's
But
how
see,
you gotta be.
it's still one more level to it too, because to your point, to both of y'all points, because the kids can hoop. I seen other kids do things, and to get to certain levels, like Rick is saying, they have to sacrifice. Like, look at the sacrifice that Mike had to make, and look how it turned out. It could be successful to the rest of us, but to be that prisoner that you can't even go enjoy some toys, you can't even go to a game, you can't walk down the street, you got to sustain this lifestyle, you got such a responsibility. I mean, he might have loved it, but he might have also hated it too. So in order to get to that level, the sacrifice to it, I wouldn't push my kids to do it. And if they chose, like Rick said, if they chose that path, I would support it 100%, because we all know the sacrifice that you got to make to get to those levels. You ain't being no kid. You practicing or playing or making songs, studio, dancing, rehearsing, dribble, drill, all this stuff, man, to be that great. So all these kids with that success, man, they had to sacrifice childhood, and I wouldn't wish that unless it was chosen.